How if I just designed the product, like I redesigned this product once, and it basically stood the test of time for the rest of all market phases? Alright everybody, hello and welcome back to another episode on Good Company, and welcome back to our beautifully automated company out here in Good County. So, in the last episode, we actually took care of clearing up some of our oldest production lines out here. If you can remember, we actually took care of now getting the case productions up here automated, you know, getting rid of a few of those tables, getting rid of an old production line that we still had standing around and using the space for automation instead. And as you can see, it's all nice and beautiful and actually working away, and, well, hopefully, you know, gonna help our production figures grow ever more, and thus also our profit. So that's all great, that's all fine and dandy, and I'm pretty happy with that. Now, other than that, we are very much moving on to milestone 6 now with our research. As you can see, only another 5,000 research data to spend until we're there. And that's going to give us an analysis station in a research lab, which sounds pretty interesting to me, because that sounds like we will be doing even more research at an even faster pace, even though we do not need it at all. So, pretty crazy indeed. And then after that, I mean, there's like a painting and a fish tank, so I think that's like literally the last things we will get in this save file, in this version of Good Company, at least in terms of, well, equipment that we can use. So, pretty crazy, honestly, how far we have come thus far, I'll have to say. It's been an absolute joy so far. But let's look back at the market overview, because I think we've got some products to advance right here. So as you can see, the first thing being the cassette player right here. And I'm pretty sure we will need a product redesign after we advance this this market phase. So that is number 1. Calculator also approaching that kind of spot. I think we can go for another round of discounts on it though. So for whatever reason, we seem to have over-designed this product more than the other one. So hopefully should be all good. The one thing that's kind of really bothering me right now though is this figure. What's happening here? 7. Is that because of like automation delays, or is there a different reason? It seems like we've got enough cases, so that should not be the issue. I don't know. A bit weird. I hope it's all fine. I mean, we've got a huge ton of cases after all, so it shouldn't be that. Well, we'll find out as we go, I guess. I hope that's gonna fix itself. Well, these are going all fine, but as I said, we're going to advance that market phase, and all these are already well taken care of. So the cassette player really being the next thing for us to worry about, and I think the next thing we probably now need to do a redesign on. So looking at the current design then, I think we're still using the very old basic simple cases, so we probably should move on from that. And, well, as far as I can see, the expected features are already way below what the market actually wants from us, so we'll probably have to actually spend a bit of effort to actually get this product to where it needs to be. And I mean, we've got all the space in here now to do that, hopefully. So it should overall be pretty fine indeed, I hope. And we should have some capacities here and there to upgrade some of these workbenches, like this electronics one here, for example, or, well, a few others in between, potentially. So hopefully we will be able to do all that. So let's go, let's advance that market phase, and then we'll have a look into this first and foremost before we continue our crazy automation drive. So that is honestly still kind of the sales I was looking for at the same amount of a discount, which is kind of very surprising, and there don't seem to be any more than 7 market phases either. So I don't. How if I just designed the product, like I redesigned this product once, and it basically stood the test of time for the rest of all market phases? I didn't think it would stop at 7. You know, wow. I mean, you know, we can push it further. We probably should, but it's kind of crazy, to be honest. I mean, like, what do I need all my research for with the speakers and everything if, like, with these basic components I can already, like, Interesting. I don't know. Let's do a redesign anyways. Maybe we'll just implement it later if we don't really need to do it right now. You know, we could just focus on automation instead. But it's honestly kind of crazy because I really thought this would get like at least another 2 or 3 iterations, but we're kind of at the end of the line, so we can only really make one perfect version, I guess, and that's about it. Well, let's go for the casing first. Let's actually check this out. Let's check out the things we have. I mean, we've got the reinforced case here, which could be kind of cool. Actually, maybe a cool idea if we do this, because I think it should be doable with a setup similar to the thing that I did for the conveyor belt. So a lot of automation and very little manual things required, which would be cool. Just not sure it would fit all in here. Maybe we would actually have to buy this huge building in the middle now, which, I mean, honestly, for like money, that's never been an issue. So it could be a cool idea, most definitely. I mean, other than that, we've got like a windowed case as well as an option, which is also not feeling too bad. I mean, we would need a little bit more here in terms of like we would need plastic parts, but we could just get a table for that. We need rods for which we could get machinery. I mean, a windowed case would be a more complicated setup, but I think with this product, we're at this point honestly just going for the ultimate max thing, right? Like there is not going to be another iteration after this. You saw the market phase. We're not going to push it any further. So I guess we may as well go for max complication. No, for max complexity. That's the word. So let's do that. And we're going to go and get rid of all these things, I think, and let's actually look into some proper speakers. Now, stereo speakers would be kind of cool. And it doesn't seem too complicated either. I mean, we need 2 beepers, electronic parts, and plastic parts. That's super simple, to be honest, and we can just like chuck it in here. I mean, we'll care about the Tetris part after, maybe. That gets us to 4.4. Okay, so maybe like that, 8.8. You know, we've got a small slot up there for optimization if we ever need it. Let's start like that. We'll just design a perfect product for now, basically, and then we'll see how to implement it later on, I think. But I think that could be a good challenge, you know, for a change, actually making something crazy like this. So 8.8, I think, is pretty decent. I'm not really looking to overdo it by setting another stereo speaker in there. That would just make the production take absolute ages for not really much of a gain. So I think 8.8 is very, very good, honestly. Battery-wise, now, we've only got quadruple battery stacks? I thought we had researched a thing after that. Maybe we want to do some more research before getting this thing out there. I mean, that's 3.6, so honestly, we would probably need a second module with the alternative as well. But I would like to actually look into that before we finalize this product. And then, I mean, data transmission shouldn't be an issue. We researched that less than I thought, apparently. Wow. Shortwave radio link, already going to do it. Wow. Okay, yeah, so I mean, yeah, that's pretty much everything we ever wanted. Like, I think maybe before we go for the product, we can look into actual battery research and speaker research, because I mean, honestly, at this point, we're like, we don't really have anything we really want to research anymore anyway, so may as well just, like, kind of focus on whatever we need for this. So if we can get better speakers and if we can get better battery stacks, we may actually do that just to ensure that we can actually max this out as the rather modern level of things, if that makes sense. So let's keep it like this for the time being. We'll not name it, we'll not finalize it. We'll go back to the design phase in a bit, and we'll just have a quick look in our research tree here, because as you can see, we've got the battery matrix here for a start, which that's got 6.0 battery life, which is crazy, because honestly 2 of these would like be super overkill. One of these here, 7.5. Okay, we probably don't need that much, but you know, battery matrix, I think if we had 2 of those instead of 2 quadruple stacks, that could be very, very cool. Would require some more input and make it a bit more complex, unfortunately, but also not that much worse, honestly. I think it's fine, and I'm pretty sure we're going to buy this building to kind of just add to the production, so we should be able to space things out a little more and I don't know. I really feel like taking that challenge on. So we're going to do the battery matrix after, I think, in terms of speakers. We've got the advanced audio module, but that is kind of crazily far up there, so I don't think we're really going to get there anytime soon. This has got a sound quality of 4.4, while that's got 7.0, so I mean, that's pretty good. You have to say it's also a good bunch more complicated, though. I don't know, I mean, this one's nice and simple, you know, this one... We're going to have to think about that. Let me know down below in the comments, maybe, and we won't do this new production thing just now. I mean, it's like a big challenge, so it would probably take multiple episodes to set something complex as this up anyways, but I think the battery matrix is a definite one. We're going to go for that instead of the quadruple battery stacks. For the advanced audio module, let me know if you think it should be in there, and then we'll decide, because if it needs to be in there, then I guess we'll have to research the LCD first, some other alternative. Yeah, I guess it's got to be the LCD that we have to research first, and then we would be able to do that too. So, well, it's an option. Let me know what you think. Should we do the advanced audio module, or should we just say, okay, stereo speakers are kind of nice and simple-ish still, and they work just fine, so maybe we keep it there. Let me know down below in the comments. But that is that then for the product redesign for the time being. We'll keep this like that was before. I mean, we're at 17 potential sales a week still, and you can see, I mean, like on average 17 sales a week should be totally fine. Gonna make more money on top of that, which is absolutely awesome, and well, no more market phases to come, so that's pretty crazy indeed. And honestly, we are still getting more demand for markets, not for the level 7 ones, I guess. No, there's no additional demand for level 7 markets, so it's all the demand we'll ever get. But I guess, you know, once you have an absolutely perfect product, that demand could end up being pretty crazy. So we'll maybe need some serious reduction capacities as well to satisfy that. So I think that's a nice challenge there for the future. Let's move on though, and actually look at our bot production maybe, because why are all the icons missing? Is that because I only see it? Yeah, I only see it when people are actually working on it, which is kind of annoying. But okay, now we kind of have a bit more of an overview. So this, I think we were talking about in terms of actually potentially making a lot of automation changes in here, because we've got a lot of metal sundries, we've got a lot of rods being worked on. I mean, look at the amount of tables in here where people are making metal sundries and metal rods. It's absolutely insane. We've got like 4 metal rods tables and 5 metal sundries tables. Like, yeah, you know, that's literally the bread and butter of this setup, is metal sundries and rods. So that kind of automation I think could be very good for us there. I don't really have any space for experimentation with the automation, and I kind of feel we may need some add-on space anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to buy this building. It's 90k, we don't really care anymore. I got a new achievement from that as well, called Expansionist, apparently. And we're also going to buy this thing already for our little mega project down there eventually. 400k, insanity, but well, we nearly own all the factory now. I mean, we could buy it all in one go, just for the fun of it, but you know, we can go slow, not take it too crazy fast. What does this thing cost, actually? It's just 250k. Just, you know, I've got 2 mil in the bank, so I don't really care. But we're going to go like this, and we're going to... Well, we're probably going to buy the other ones eventually, you know. This is 90k, we're probably going to buy that when we need automation for this thing, and, well, that one, I don't know. We've still got products coming, I think. We have still got 1 product coming. So we'll probably use that building for that 1 product, and I think it's going to be a pretty complex one, so pretty happy that it is that big, and maybe we will then use some add-on capacities right here, and look at that beautiful fountain. I absolutely love it. Who would not like to chill on these benches? Just like, oh, I love that. Okay, anyways, moving on. I hope you're all looking forward to summer as much as me, but we are here to get some automation going. So what I wanted to do, what I really kind of just wanted that building for, is just to place a small metal processing machine, just see how everything works, you know. I'm not even sure, I'm probably going to need a bit of this space, so it's probably in the end a wise move to do that, but for the time being, really just wanted to look at things. So we've got rods right here, which we make 25 rods a cycle, which takes a day. So that would basically be the capacity of like maybe 3 tables, right? So if we were to set up 2 and 2, we would easily cover our needs in terms of metal rods and metal sundries. Now the question I think being, out of all these metal rods that we're making, are we using anything directly for the production, or are we reusing everything for metal sundries? Out here it looks like we're reusing everything for the sundries. We also have gears, by the way, which we can also automate with the machine, so maybe something worth thinking about too. But we have got, okay, so here we are kind of just reusing the metal sundries for the metal rods too. Can we automate these? I'm not too sure, actually. So that would be a question. I mean, other than that, you know, the metal sundries are then of course being reused, but the metal rods seem to just be used for metal sundry production. So that should make it nice and easy for us, because like if we automate this, we really just need to ferry the metal sundries over, and we could just do all the automation in this building out here and have like one conveyor with a ton of metal sundries that just kind of end up here or there. Probably like there, because you know we're gonna have space there when we get rid of all these tables, and then you know logistics employees are gonna come pick them up and put them everywhere we need them. So you know that seems easy enough to me, to be honest. Doesn't really seem too bad, and I'm pretty happy with that. Now the question here being the gears and the thingamajiggies here. Now this all seems to be happening in a different table. And where is this thing pulling its metal sundries from? Wait, is that guy running around all the time? Oh god, wow, okay. That's a bit weird. It's a very weird choice. I don't know why I made that choice. I probably should honestly change it, but we're gonna now just change the whole setup anyways and then come back to that later. So that's interesting. Alright, let me see what I can make with this machine. I'm pretty sure I can make gears. Yes, but I cannot make these things. So we could just do a separate setup for the gears and have the gears be delivered right here to that dude. I mean, we could probably even just have an automated storage segment and he just kind of gets it right into his little shelf. So I think that overall should not be too complicated to make either. So I've got an idea now what we're going to automate. So first things first, let's go and grab like just randomly placed 5 metal processing machines, and we will go and grab a courier pallet and put that right here, because I am pretty sure I'm just going to do everything in there. Now, in terms of setup, I think I'll do all these things up here, to be honest. I kind of think, you know, we're just going to have the conveyors right here, so the placement does about make sense, probably. We are going to go and kind of Tetris this around a bit. So, we're always going to have units of 2 machines, of course, somewhat, and then we're going to have one separate machine for the gears. Now, the one conveyor with gears is going to go in here. I think the other one is going to go in here for the metal sundries, so we're going to have to see about that. Now, in terms of where I place these machines, I think this setup that I had going over here makes a bit more sense. Just need to actually make sure to have the right space to plunk the conveyors down. Do I have more conveyor parts down here? I do. Look at that. Beautiful. That's, as I said, this is going to take care of all of our automation needs without ever needing another worker for that again. So that is indeed very good. So we will make metal sundries in here, we'll make metal rods here, and we'll make metal sundries here. Pretty straightforward, I guess. Now, this thing actually only uses 15 rods, so we could have probably split it, but yeah, whatever. And we don't need the rods for anything else in the production down here, like just exclusively rods, like we're just always using metal sundries basically, so that is totally fine too. And then we're going to have a gear machine right here. Of course, that does have the right orientation too, it's just kind of a bit... I guess this works. Yeah, that works. That should work. Okay. So, in terms of this then, we will have to kind of snake things around here and there, I think, but basically we will have a shelf right there. We'll have a shelf right here. And we will probably have to actually see how to move this stuff. Okay. This kind of being a bit of an issue, potentially. I mean, the thing that I'm currently kind of debating on is how am I going to store these things. Actually, maybe I want to move this machine into here just to have some extra space for the setup, because I think it is going to be one heck of a Tetris again. So we're going to have retrieval segments, of course, in front of these shelves, because that's where we're going to pull all the metal in from, and then that is basically going to feed right into the first machine. That's going to make all my rods. That's going to come around, you know. I mean, that part of the setup, I guess you would have all already guessed, and it's pretty simple and nothing really crazy to talk about right there, right? So that is probably straightforward enough. Now, the real question kind of comes in when it comes to actually getting this stuff stored, and I think I've got an idea. So we're going to go and undo this real quick, because I want to change the placement of this first machine right here. We're going to move this 1, 2 back, and we're just going to do the same with the other one, you know, just in the interest of symmetry. It's not really like we need to, but, well, actually we probably do need to, so we're going to actually move this one here back by 2 spaces as well. And now we're going to redo this conveyor belt setup, if I hopefully can, because the idea would be here that we would have a small overhead transporter. Actually, we would need a medium one right there, and I'm kind of wondering, does this work? Is this going to put the thing on here and that's going to ferry it over without me needing any conveyor belts? I would hope so. I really do hope that that is going to work. We're going to do the same thing here in the interest of symmetry and to allow our employees to move through down below, of course. And then we'll have to see if that works as intended, because now my idea would be to have like a big shelving rack somewhere. We do not need employees to be able to move through there, so this is not going to be fine because my shelf is actually, okay, so we're going to need a different sort of shelf there. We will go for a corner shelf, basically, so that this thing can pull, but my employee can also access. And in the interest of symmetry, you know, you all know my OCD by now, we're going to do the same right here. So that basically being the alternative idea, I think, and let me just connect up these conveyor belts so we've got that out of the way already. But yeah, so that being the idea, more or less, we would pull the conveyor through here, would have a big shelving rack where everything gets stored into, and then we've got a retrieval segment that kind of just pulls these out right there. So let's see how that works. I'm not too sure that these things work. It's kind of the big question mark for me right now. But let's go and put that up like this, and I'm still not quite sure that I don't need to move things to the right a bit here. So, could be an issue. We'll try. This we will move around like... see, that's the issue here. Yeah, so, another time, removing all the conveyors, unfortunately, because that's kind of the only way to do this. This we won't have to remove, luckily, so that is kind of neat about that, but we will move this a bit further to the right to just give ourselves a bit more space here. Good thing we've got that corner shelf set up, because now that's also remaining accessible, and that should give us a bit more space to work with right here. Just kind of need to pay attention not to kind of accidentally split conveyor belts again. So this will go around like that basically, and then we'll have a storage segment there. And this, we will actually need an overhead transporter again, which we could just make an S one, but that would kind of be annoying for symmetry. But then again, it would kind of be also good for symmetry. I'm gonna just make it an S. Actually, this is an issue, isn't it? We could put an overhead transporter there, just so employees can kind of remain the ability, well, keep the, you know what I mean, they can just be able to move through still. So like this basically, then we would have our conveyor here actually go there, and then we will have that conveyor. Oh no. Oh god. The Tetris in this game sometimes, I'm telling you all, it is absolutely insane. I think we should be able to move this over without any like serious implications for accessibility or move through ability or whatever other topics. So we're gonna go and take that last little bit of space, and hopefully that is going to be enough to finally get everything going that we want. Because we kind of got to keep in mind that the logistics employee needs to move through to this shelf, right? So that's why I'm having this thing, so they can go like here, 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 and then there. Because like I'm gonna have to bring a conveyor out right here, so nobody's gonna be able to move through there. And well, unfortunately, just given like the hello, no. I want to turn that thing, please. Thank you. Just given like the weirdness of this old way of doing conveyors, which of course, as I said, is still from an old version of Good Company. That is a bit of an issue. I mean, theoretically, if we turn this corner shelf around, it would still remain accessible. In that case, this thing doesn't make any sense whatsoever to have. But, you know, the thing would still remain accessible. So I guess that's what we're going to have to do. Slightly annoying, but now my employees will just have to move around. It is what it is. I hope they're going to be doing just fine doing that, even though it's a bit of a longer way for them. It shouldn't be that crazy of a change. And this should now be all storing into here, and then we've got like basically a retrieval segment right here, and that's going to pull all the metal sunrays out for us and ferry it down. Quite the crazy setup, I know, for this simple of a task, but honestly, hopefully one that saves us a lot of money and gets us a lot more space down here for future improvements to these robots as well. So, very much looking forward to that, but for today, I'm going to end it off right here because the time is already up for the episode again, unfortunately. So, next time, we're definitely going to continue on that stuff and hopefully get some nice automation going, save some money, make some more profit. Very much looking forward to that. I hope you all are as well, but I also hope that you enjoyed today's episode. As always, if you did, please make sure to hit that like button down below. That does always help out the channel a ton. And if you're new around here and haven't done so just yet, also please consider subscribing right down below, as well as hitting that bell icon to stay up to date on all the future upcoming episodes. But with all that out of the way, as always everyone, thanks a lot for watching, and I hope I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao.